year, and lots of us are trying to do a meat-free month or weeks. But I gotta say, there does come a point where you're fed up with the boring bland salads and you're trying to pimp up your vegetables. This recipe is called Caponata. It's an aubergine Sicilian sweet and sour stew. You would never believe you're only eating vegetables. So I'm gonna get the Caponata going, and Romina, what are you doing?
I'm doing a rosemary focaccia to go with it.
First thing you need to do is get some boiling water on and salt it, and into that we're going to blanch 300 grams of celery. You want your celery to be nice and chunky, so I would cut it into thumb-sized pieces. They'll only take about 3 to 4 minutes to blanch, and while they're blanching we're going to cook our aubergine. So you got whole aubergine, again chunky, thumb size, 2 centimetre cubes. So there's a big debate in our family about whether you salt your aubergine or not. However, many a chef has told me that nowadays, with the production of aubergines, they actually don't have that strong bitterness that they had many, many years ago. So we're going to go straight in with these. So now all we need to do is cook off this aubergine in some olive oil. The aubergine soaks up any oil or moisture in that pan. So I'm going to add a little bit of oil on the top, but do be sparing because you don't want this to be a really greasy dish. I'm going to leave those cook now until they go nice and golden, and while that's happening, I'm going to drain my celery. You do need to keep stirring this because, as I said, the greedy little aubergines have taken all the oil, so you don't want them to stick.
How's it going?
Yeah, good.
Smells nice.
Might need to get you to toast me some pine nuts for the end.
Sure.
A couple of tablespoons worth. Okay, so they're nice and golden. So these are going to now come off the pan, and I'm just going to drain them onto a piece of kitchen roll so that it soaks up any excess oil. Now into that same pan, we're going to put a little bit more olive oil, and I'm just going to saute some finely chopped onions, crushed garlic, and my celery. Crush 2 cloves of garlic, and then roughly chop your garlic. Almost finish cooking your onion before you put in the garlic because it cooks really, really quickly and you don't want it to burn. Okay, in with my garlic and my celery. Now this is the bit where the flavours really come to life because we're going to add our sweet and sour mix to the sauce. 200 millilitres of water, 2 tablespoons of caster sugar, and now we're going to do 4 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. Then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of tomato puree, a handful of black olives, and a handful of capers. The aubergine goes in right at the end because you don't want it to disintegrate. So I'm going to reduce the heat, pop a lid on, and leave it for 10 minutes. So that's all done. Now I really want some of that rosemary focaccia in the oven. Come on, Means.
I'll boot you off. So all I've got here is some of our classic pizza dough. So at the end of this video, you can click on the link to find out how to make that. And then we're going to use that pizza dough to make a nice focaccia. I'm firstly going to oil it up. Simply take your piece of dough and you push it out to the edges, spreading it all out, get your fingertips involved. Pane!
Someone's hungry.
Pane!
Dai, metti le dita dentro.
Metti le dita.
Fai così, fai come la zozza.
Oh. In this little bowl here, I have about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, so extra virgin olive oil, really important for that extra flavour. And 2 tablespoons of cold water. I'm also going to add a nice big pinch of salt. When it goes into the oven, the water will evaporate and make your focaccia have a really good crust. The last thing to do is put lots of rosemary leaves on the top. So we're going to put this into a really hot oven, so ours is at the max at 250 degrees Celsius, until it's nice and golden on the top, nice and crunchy too.
Right, after that's been simmering, you want to make sure that the consistency is quite thick really. It's not meant to be a soup. So now we're just going to pop in the aubergine, teaspoon of oregano, gently stir it because you don't want to have anything disintegrate. Don't forget to season it with some salt and pepper. And then when you plate it up, add those lovely toasted pine nuts on top at the end. Looking good.
So it's nice and crispy on the top.
Right, Means, do you want to slice that up and I'll put out the caponata.
Sure.
And if you like this recipe, or we've got loads more, don't forget to click on any of the links below. Give us a thumbs up if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel because it's free. And like this, which we're going to gobble up.